All right, Sky Squad, we are back in the building. Yes, and we got to talk about Atlanta today, okay? It's all going down into the Atlanta specifically. Well, actually, I should say it's going down in the Charleston area, okay? Because on the show, we're still in the cast trip, okay? This is the longest cast trip ever, all right? Now, Bravo has released a super teaser for this week's episode, which is set to be supersized to go along with all the stripper drama that's about to go down. So we're going to be discussing that trailer right now, as well as some news regarding Porsha and Dennis, okay? And we're going to discuss this news together because I kind of feel like, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Porsha and Dennis after this episode airs, but also with regards to the news that has just come about, okay? So before we get into that, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell button, join the texting community, and also follow your boy on the gram. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and stage dive into what we got to talk about. So, Bravo has released basically a long clip of what we're going to be seeing in this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it looks like we're finally getting to the meat and potatoes, okay, of Strippergate. Finally, it has happened to me, okay, because we have been hearing about this forever. So it's good that we're finally actually getting to see the goods, and it's only happening in episode 10, okay? It only took us 10 episodes to get here, but we finally here, all right? Now, the scene starts off with, them asking Cynthia about the evening. And now they have Cynthia set up in what appears to be some sort of almost like Basic Instinct sort of like backdrop, and we saw Kenya in that same backdrop when we were seeing the super trailer, okay, for the cast trip. Now, they're asking Cynthia basically, what went down, and she's kind of like, well, I believe what's happened in Charleston needs to stay in Charleston. And to me, that's the right answer, because to be quite honest with you, I kind of feel like based on what we've seen in the clips, all the ladies look like they're having a good time, looking like they're ready to like really enjoy Bolo, the stripper, okay? And they look like they want to just let their hair down. And I'm fine with that. I'm cool with it. And quiet as it's kept, I didn't even need to know what was going on with it, because I kind of feel like at a certain point in time, these are grown women, and so let them do what they do, off the clock or whatever. But is the clock really ever off with reality television? That's going to be the question I feel like we are going to have to ask ourselves as we move forward and get into the down and dirty with this whole situation. So then, we get the scene with Bolo coming out, and he's dancing in front of the ladies. The ladies are all oohing and ahhing, and they touching and groping on, and just loving on themselves, and they looking like ready to get down and shake it with Bolo, okay? So Porsha gets up and she says, I'm only 21, begins to drop some dollars on him, gets all up in his face, two-step boot on up on him, and begin to gyrate a little twerkerization, then she falls on the floor, okay? So at a certain point in time, Kandi says, all right, Bolo, you can go on into the other room. So he go ahead and leaves or whatever after he then got undressed and, pull some things out for the ladies to see. Get him real nice and warmed up, I should say. So then he leaves, but then Kandi's like, well, you know what, production, hopefully, you guys can take the cameras down so we can actually have some real fun, okay? So LaToya runs up on, Kandi and is like, we can't do nothing with production here like this. And she's all up in Kandi's face, and Kandi's like, I don't care nothing about no cameras, okay? So they're ready to have a good time. I'm all the way here for it. I don't mind it. I feel like let loose. Do what you do. It's a bachelorette party. Come on now. So anyway, the producers are like, well, y'all can do all that when we wrap up. And so it looks like maybe either time flashes forward or whatever the case may be, and they begin to wrap all the way up, right? So they wrap up, and then, Porsha is telling, Tanya and some other girls to turn or cover the cameras up, because there are obviously like cameras installed in the house, like I guess maybe in the corners or something like that, which is not beyond the realm of belief based on what we know about reality TV and how they may film, right? So you can see, you know, people beginning to turn the cameras. Now in this scene, you can actually see that there was a clip where we thought we saw someone's legs all up in the air. That looks to be Porsha or someone in the background with her legs up in the air. But it looks like she's just on her back with her legs up, almost like she's doing back flips or something like that on the floor. Just something playful. It don't look like nobody's there in betwixt the legarization. But you know, there is a part where we hear Shamia say, she says, "You are about to be by tonight," okay? So at that point, Porsha says something, and I don't know if it pertained to eating or not, but I couldn't hear it. You guys let me know what you hear in the clip down below. I'm gonna put the clip in the description of this video so you guys can watch it for yourselves to give me an idea of what you think she said. Now, regardless of whatever she said, to me, I feel like if the cameras went down at that point, it's clear that the cameras were down, but the audio is still on, okay? So, you know, what's the right thing to do there? Is it right for production to leave the audio on if the cameras are off? Or should the ladies just know that the cameras may be off, but the audio still may be working? And I can't tell if the ladies were still mic'd. I would assume that they weren't at that point, but clearly there is some audio that is still tapped into the house, okay? So that's probably how we're going to get some of the sounds, at least, from what has gone on or what goes on in the coming episode, all right? Now, with regards to Dennis and Porsha specifically, okay? Now, our friends over at All About the Tea have reported that the headline reads, "Porsha Williams' baby daddy allegedly caught in the club getting cozy with another woman." Now, this isn't the first time that he has been, you know, spotted out clubbing it up with somebody else. You know, that happened last December. I think it was last December that we caught wind of something like that, or there were some pictures floating around. And there are pictures in this instance. And apparently the photos surfaced of him partying the night away in Atlanta at a club during Valentine's Day weekend. Now, in the images, Porsha is nowhere to be seen, and in one image, he appears extra friendly with an unidentified woman, with his arm around her, and she appears more than happy to be receiving his attention. Now, this was also posted on his IG stories from what it looks like. So, you know, for us on the show, it appears as though Dennis is trying to get back together with Porsha. But then we know after the Strippergate incident happened in real time, sometime after that, he posted that he was single AF. So this isn't really surprising, but it'll be interesting to see what becomes or what comes of their relationship specifically after Strippergate happens. I personally have tried not to invest too much time into the relationship of Dennis and Porsha beyond what we talked about last year, because I just felt like it was so much up and down and so much back and forth that I really couldn't keep up with it any longer. So now I would like to see what happens, because she is supposed to be at the center of the controversy with Strippergate. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Honestly, it appears as though they were both single going into this trip, with him maybe trying to get back together with her. But, you know, at the end of the day, if she considered herself single and she wanted to have a good time, then that's that on that. I mean, it is what it is. She's grown. And to be quite honest with you, I don't see no harm in it. But you guys let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. And we'll, of course, judge for ourselves this coming Sunday night at 9. Oh, 8 or 9, is it 8 p.m.? 8 p.m. on Sunday night on Bravo, okay? With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.